Oh god, why? That was the shittest streamer ever. Let's try that again. Why do I think that I thought the tassels would go. But hello. Welcome back to Cupcakes and Coasters. Today is my 100th upload, guys. It's my 100th video. That is if you don't count there's 2 secret videos on my channel that I tried YouTube once before back in 2015. So there's 2 videos that are secret. Maybe I'll upload them one day. Maybe when I reach 10,000 subscribers or something, I'll release them. But yes, so 100 videos, which I think is it's quite good. So in about 2 years of doing this, that means I've roughly uploaded 1 a week, which I'm pretty proud of. It means I didn't really miss any days, despite obviously, given the situation currently, we can't really go to theme parks. I'm quite proud of that. But yeah, because I'm me and I didn't want to do anything too like serious, hence I mean, yeah, I don't really take myself too seriously anyway, but I wanted to do something that felt very on brand for Cupcakes and Coasters. So what I thought I'd do was, and I'm sure a few of you saw my tweet the other day, what I thought I'd do is count down my top 100 kiddie coasters. You guys know that I am a self-confessed cred-holic, cred hunter, whatever you want to call it. I love me a kiddie coaster. I love getting +1s. That's been particularly true this summer when we haven't been able to go on holidays and trips and stuff and actually go out and ride proper coasters. So I've really been digging, trying to find some roller coasters to ride this year. So I've kind of found a taste for going cred hunting again this summer, which I mean, it's one, I don't know if you'd call it a plus side out of COVID-19, but it's certainly a side of myself I've rediscovered. Seeing as we've got 100 coasters to start counting down, I don't want to blab on too much because I think this is going to be, hopefully it's not too long a video. I'm really going to try and limit myself on how long I talk about each of these coasters. But yeah, it's my top 100. They might not be like, I haven't really listed them in terms of this is my favourite, like it is obviously really hard to list a proper list of favourites. Like I like this one better than this one objectively. But what I've done is kind of tried to pick 100 kiddie coasters that had some defining factor or something unique about them or something memorable that happened to me when I rode them. So that is what I'm doing. Oh my god, I completely forgot. Look, to celebrate, because, you know, oh my god, they're falling. Focus on the Collins, yes! We've got Colin Caterpillar cakes because, you know, like caterpillar roller coasters and we're celebrating, so like, you get it, because it's Colin the Caterpillar and it's caterpillar coasters and creds and kiddie coasters. But yeah, I'm going to try and put these out of the way because otherwise I'm going to sit and look at them the whole time and I'm going to be distracted, but I'll eat one after. But yeah, Colin the Caterpillar, everyone, very good. Right, so without further ado, I'm going to have a drink. Without further ado, let's get stuck in. This is my top 100 kiddie coasters for my sins. Okay, in at number 100, we are starting off in the UK. Obviously, it's where I've ridden the most kiddie coasters, family coasters, whatever you want to call them. Starting off with Kiddie's coaster at Dudley Zoological Garden, for no reason other than, I don't know why, it's always stuck out as like a particularly weird place for a cred to be. Like Dudley's like a pretty standard run-of-the-mill like British town, like WH Smith, like HSBC Bank kind of high street town, and then they've got this mad zoological gardens in the middle of the town, and they've got a cred. I think it's a Big Apple, I'll be honest. I don't particularly remember riding it, but it's on my list, so I must have it at one point. Next up is Mini Coaster at Atra Park. Atra Park is in Moscow, where I went to I think I went there in 2013. I'll be honest, I don't actually remember going on this. I just wanted to pick something unique and not something people might have heard of. Because I was trying to make up the numbers towards the end. I couldn't find 100. I've ridden, by the way, I think I worked out about a third of my creds are kiddie / family crap. So there we go, that's some numbers for you. Mini Coaster at Atra Park coming in at 99. I have no recollection of riding it. Slithering in at 98, it's Sea Serpent at Fun Spot America. I put this on the list because my family obviously know that I do this, but like, they've never really seen me ride kiddie coasters, so whenever I've been to Florida before, I've always been with them, and even though we've been to Fun Spot, I just couldn't bring myself to go on a kiddie coaster in front of my family, so it's always been there, and I've always been like, the coaster's there, but I can't go on it. And then finally in 2018, I went with my friend and we all rode it together, and it was wonderful, and I finally ticked them off the list. Sea Serpent at number 98. 97 is Caterpillar Capers at Camelot Theme Park. It's only on the list because it was my 100th coaster. Number 96 is Sideshow Spin at Dollywood. I don't really remember the coaster itself, but I do remember that Connor didn't ride it, and he said he got a funnel cake, and he sat watching us on the kiddie coaster eating funnel cake, and he got powdered sugar all over him, and he just looked like a really weird man stood covered in powdered sugar watching people ride the kiddie coaster, and that's why it sticks out in my memory. Number 95 is, I'm probably going to pronounce this horribly, but bear with me, Correcaminos Meep Meep. It's the Roadrunner roller coaster, but I liked it because I like the name of it, and that's why it's on the list. I told you that some of this stuff is filler. I liked it because the name has meep meep in it. Number 94, back to the UK for this one. It's the Green Scream at Adventure Island, on the list because for some reason, like growing up, I was obsessed with this roller coaster. Like, I grew up going to Southend quite a lot, and Green Scream was something, if I was playing on Roller Coaster Tycoon and I built like a family coaster, I always painted it green and I always called it Green Scream, so it's obviously a coaster that made an impact on me. Next on the list is Okie Dokie at Bobby on Land. We all know I hate this park, but I thought I'd put Okie Dokie on there because the trains are like pure nightmare fuel, and that I kind of live for them, like a terrifying clown. And also it's like a custom Vekoma Junior coaster for no reason. Like, they literally could have just built one off the shelf, but instead they went for this custom layout, and they do nothing with it. It literally just is there, and you go on it, and there's no reason for it being custom, and I appreciate that. Number 92 is a roller coaster at Sparky's Family Fun Centre. Sparky's Family Fun Centre. That's in the UAE, and another kind of humble brag one. I just put that on there because it's a bit off the beaten track. Most people probably won't have heard of it, ridden it. I've been on it. It was fine. It was like a shopping mall coaster, and when we went there it was all locals, and then just like me, the one white girl, riding the kiddie cred. And I'd do it again. Number 91 is Runaway Train at June's Leisure. I put this on there because it's built by Big Country Motioneering, who also built the Ultimate. And the Ultimate's amazing. This coaster is not amazing, but it's an interesting fact, so it's on the list. I went a bit mad with the next ones and just started listing coasters, kiddie coasters, whose names I found funny, so bear with me. Number 90 is Mine Train Ulven at Bakken, and I put it on there because I'm childish, and Ulven sounds like vulva, and I think it's funny, so there we go. Number 89 is Toof Toof Tadget at Groenland. I've probably absolutely massacred that name pronunciation, but it's a little choo-choo train, and I just thought the name was really cute. Toof Toof Tadget. And it's particularly horrendous because Groenland's quite busy, and it's kind of elevated, so when you're on it, it's kind of one of those back and forth, like they're usually called like Minnie Mouse coaster or something. It's particularly embarrassing because you're up, kind of raised up so everyone can see you shamefully riding the kiddie coaster. It's great. Number 88 I think is the first coaster that has any cultural significance. It's Rodelbaan at De Warbeek in the Netherlands, and it is the oldest, what I would consider like proper steel roller coaster in Europe. It might be in the world, I'm not sure, but definitely in Europe it's the oldest steel roller coaster, and we figured out that it was there like during World War II and stuff, which is obviously quite cool. So like you could imagine this roller coaster operating whilst kind of war raged around the area, which I always thought was particularly interesting. Number 87 is Wacky Warm at Thunder Park in, I think it's in Dorset, but I mean, come on, Wacky Warm, because someone just obviously had a brain fart when they were painting the sign and just wrote, like you can see how it happened, Wacky, W-A-W-A, and they went, oh no, it's meant to say worm, and just changed it to Wacky Warm, and so it's a wacky worm called Wacky Warm, and I think that's funny. Number 86 is just another one that's on the list because it's fun to say. Kicker Achterbahn. I think it means like froggy roller coaster, and it's at Duinrail, and Duinrail's logo, not their logo, their mascot. It's a little frog guy, so Kicker Actabarn. Number 85 is Captain Jack's Runaway Train at Pirates Cove Adventure Park. That's on the Isle of Wight. This is on the list because I watched Andy Rumney's vlog the other day and he's like, I'm the only YouTuber who's been on this coaster, and you ain't, because I've been on it, I just didn't film it. So there we go, in at number 85. Number 84 is Little Dipper at Max Amusements. It's one of those coasters that like weird old creds that's just like, it's basically in the sea. I think there's been a couple of pictures of it where it is actually in the sea, where like it's flooded or the weather's been particularly bad, so it's just something that I always see pop up. I mean, it was fun. It's not something I'd probably go on again. Number 83, we're back to the Isle of Wight, and this is Cliffhanger at Black Gang Chine. It's on the list because it is literally a cliffhanger. Like it basically could fall into the sea at any time now, so even though it was a like fun little family coaster, it still had that added element of impending doom. Number 82 is a weird one. It's Twistrix at Dreamville Park. It's like a standard kind of family kiddie layout, but the trains kind of spin, but it's like an older version of a spinning coaster, and it's real janky. Like it kind of trundles along, and I think it's themed to owls or something. It's weird. Number 81 is Twistosaurus at Flamingo Land. This was Connor's 50th coaster when we were very first going out, and he was trying to impress me, so he would come on kiddie creds with me. Doesn't do it anymore, but it's a memory of a time when he did, and hilarious imagery of this huge man riding the kiddie cred to impress a girl he was dating. Number 80 is Wild Tiger Actabarn at Mondo Verde in the Netherlands. This is another, like, it's kind of a weird one. Like, I did a little cred run through the Netherlands and I found this place that was essentially a garden centre, like literally like a conservatory that sold plants, and then out the back they had a cred and some monkeys, and it was actually pretty good. I think it was a Sierra, so like one of the Rumby Bum roller coasters, but yeah, just purely on the list because it's in a nursery. Number 79 is Family Coaster at Jura Park that's in Poland, and it's on the list because we never planned to go ride it. We just ended up, we went to a castle, and the castle ended up being a bit crap. Like we were there for like half hour or something. We're like, what do we do the rest of our day? And I was like, well, there's this place that has a cred nearby, so we drove there, and the park ended up being amazing. Like, if you go to Poland, go to Jura Park because it's insane. Number 78 is Morgwar at Cornwall's Creeley Great Adventure Park. Is that what it's still called? It's not called that anymore, is it, that park? It's called Camel Creek, but on my list it's called Creeley Great because it was Creeley when I rode it. On the list because firstly, the trains are cute as hell. They're like a cute little dragon sea serpent guy. The theming's pretty good, and it reminds me of, and I'm going to show my age now, it reminds me of Trogdor from the Flash animation from E-Bomb's World. So every time I read it, my brain goes Morgwar, like Trogdor, the animation. Number 77 is Octonauts Roller Coaster Adventure at a little place you might have heard of called Alton Towers. Like, come on, it's got a whale in the middle and it squirts you and it gets you wet. It's great. Number 76 is Caterpillar at Portons Park. Firstly, because it's a pun, because it's a caterpillar, but it's the face of a cat. And it's funny because it's the face of a cat. And secondly, you get it, it's a joke, captain, get it. But also, like, the theming is like someone had a fever dream and based the entire land on this crazy, like, nightmare fueled imagination trip they had. It's quite disturbing actually when you look at it, and I quite enjoyed that in a family theme park. Over to the other Creeley for number 75 is Shark Bay, which I always think that's a weird name for a roller coaster, Shark Bay. Like, there's no action to it, but I like it because it's inside and it's in like a cool themed shed at Devon's Creeley Great Adventure Park, whatever it's bloody called. It was quite a shameful one as well going on this one. Like, there were loads of like real tiny kids and then just us getting the cred, but I mean the staff didn't mind, we had a good time. Number 74 is something I honestly can't believe is still operating. It's the Buffalo Mountain Coaster at Drayton Manor. This thing is always like that ride that's sometimes it's not operating. I think it was down for a lot of time last year and everyone's like, they're getting rid of it, and then you hear about it again, everyone's like, it's back open. Every time you think it's dead, it seems to come back to life for another round. So we love a coaster that keeps on trucking. And number 73 is Buffalo Stampede at Twin Lakes Park. I think I just must have been thinking about buffaloes and I just was like, yeah, that can go on the list as well. Number 72 is Joker Funhouse Coaster at Six Flags Over Georgia. I don't have a massive memory of this, but I do remember it having like a bit of theming. and if you're in a Six Flags park and you see a bit of theming, it gets thumbs up and kudos points and all that good stuff, so it's on the list. Number 71 is Dragonflyer at Camelot Theme Park. It was a gasoline powered roller coaster. How could I not have something as ridiculous as that on there? It literally, like, it had a tank at the front and it just spewed fumes. Like, why wouldn't you even put the fucking tank at the back so the fumes don't go in everyone's face? It was at the front, so anyone who was sat on the train just got mouthfuls of these horrible gasoline fumes as the coaster went round. Number 70 is Cosmic Coaster at Valley Fair. This was one of the first kiddie creds we went on our American road trip last year, and our first taste of like the shameful kind of cred hunting that was to come. So that was on the list for the memories of getting shamed together with your friends. There's no better bonding activity. Number 69, nice, is Dragon at Jardin d'Acclimatation in Gay Paris. It's a Soke coaster. We love a Soke coaster, very underrated coaster manufacturer, and Dragon is very well themed. It's themed to kind of a Chinese style dragon, so there's a lot of pagodas and nice kind of like tranquil like Chinese gardens around, and I think there's like it's a little bit kind of culturally inappropriate because I think they've just kind of done a Asian fusion mashup of theme, because I'm pretty sure there's a koi pond around as well, but like it's pretty cool. Back to Alton Towers now for number 68, and it's the Beastie. Comment below if you rode the Beastie when it was at Alton Towers. It was one of my first roller coasters I ever went on. I remember being at Alton Towers when I was very young and being really excited to go on this roller coaster with my mum, and we got the front row, and it was literally like I had the best time riding it. And when I look at it now, it's like, oh my god, I can't believe that's the thing that like I bigged up. So in my memory it's so much bigger, but obviously gotta have a place for Beastie on the list. Number 67 is Doggy Dog at Old MacDonald's Farm, purely for the glorious views of the M25 that you get when you ride this coaster. Sticking with the doggy theme for number 66 is Howler at Holiday World. It's funny because Howler, when you have things like the Legend and the Raven, you think, oh, Howler, that sounds like really all spooky, what's it going to be? And it's themed to Holly Dog, the park's mascot, and it's like a silly kiddie coaster. And when we went on it, Chris was in the water park when me and Jack went on it, and then he came back later and he wanted to ride it, but we'd all been on it, so he rode it by himself surrounded by kids, and it was one of the most hilarious moments of the trip. Number 65 is African Big Apple at West Midlands Safari Park, which I always laugh at because it has the most unimaginative name going. Like, they literally were like, oh yeah, like Rhino Rally roller coaster, Twister roller coaster, like really kind of thinking outside the box. What are some kind of animal themed names? And they got to the Big Apple and went, African Big Apple, and then it stuck somehow, and that's what it's called, and I think it's hilarious. Number 64 is Happy Caterpillar on Blackpool South Pier. It's on the list because it is the most hungover I have ever been getting a cred. It was the day after my my hen do spent in sunny Blackpool, and of course it wouldn't be a hen party of mine if there weren't creds involved, so we all stumbled out onto the pier, hanging out of our asses, and rode the kiddie cred, and it was vile. Heading down south to Little Hampton and Harbour Park for the next one. It's called, I think it's called like Ocean Coaster or something, but essentially it's like a caterpillar coaster, but it's a fish, and I think it's funny. It looks stupid. Number 62 is Nessie, and you can find that at Pleasurelands in, Connor will tell me if I say Northern Ireland, so I'll say the north of Ireland. It's one of the first kiddie coasters that Connor took me to ride when we went to Ireland to meet his family for the first time. He took me to get all of the creds in the north of Ireland, and this was one of them, and it's particularly rank. It's like down the back of an alley in a grotty seaside area, so I mean, shout out to Connor for taking me there to win me over. It was much appreciated. Number 61 is Happy Caterpillar at South Parade Pier on Southsea in Portsmouth. It's on the list because it's one of the most recent creds, if not, is it the most recent? No, one of the most recent creds that I've got, so it's burned fresh into my memory. It was a very nice new wacky worm style layout. We had a very fun and windy time riding it. Number 60 is Family Banana Coaster. Family Banana Coaster at Yokohama Cosmo World in Japan. It's actually really cute. It's like themed to like cutesy anime monkey guys, but I mean, Family Banana Coaster, come on. Number 59 is Runaway Train at St Nicholas Park. It was my 800th cred, that's why it's on the list. No other reason other than that. Number 58 is Beehive Coaster, and I put it on the list because I thought it was going to be like bee themed. You know, like Big Apples often have like the giant like flowers and stuff theming, and I was like, it's going to be that but with bees, and it kind of is that, but then it's also got the double entendre because everything at Dreamland is kind of like 60s counterculture theme, so it's like a beehive, like a hairdo. That's the other meaning of the name, and I just thought that was very clever and very cool and quirky of Dreamland. Also, the coaster's really pretty as well for a Big Apple. Number 57 is Glästerblitz at Steinwesen Park in Germany. I just remember this being a really beautiful park in general, as our waterfalls in kind of Bavaria. It was really pretty, and it was a powered coaster that kind of went around indoors, but it also had like a bobsled that went around with it. It's just quite unique and a little bit off the beaten track. Cool coaster. Number 56 is Spirale des Dunes at Bagatelle, and I don't really remember what the roller coaster is, but I do remember that the sign for the roller coaster had like a really angry crab dude in like a tornado, and I thought it was funny. So yeah, it's on the list because it's got an angry crab in the sign, and I think that's cute. Number 55 is Wikibahn at Plopsa Indoor Coevorden. I think this place holds the record for the least amount of time I've spent inside the theme park. We went there on a cred run, and I think we parked the car up, we were in and out of the park within 7 minutes to get the cred. The Plopsa indoor parks, by the way, are really great if you have kids, not so much if you're my age, because there's not really a lot for adults to do, but kids, they're great parks. But Wikibahn's actually really cool. It's kind of like Viking themed in the corner, and it like goes in and out of like some like scully rock faces, and there's like indoor dark sections. It's actually pretty cool for a kids coaster. Number 54, and apologies in advance because I'm definitely going to mess the pronunciation of this up, is Schlange von Midgard at Hansa Park, and I think it's Gerst who make this, but it's just really coolly themed, like Viking family coaster, and you're in like a Viking longship and it goes out on the water, and there's like Viking ship and wooden theming, and there's kind of a little bit of show effects inside the building. Hansa Park do this stuff really well, and it's just it's like OTT for what a family coaster should be themed as anyway. It's great. Number 53 is Crazy Mouse at Gulliver's Milton Keynes, and I put it on the list because it went inside and I didn't expect it to. Number 52 on the list is Cast Cave Coaster. I don't know what that means, at Jinjiang Action Park in Shanghai. I just didn't expect this to be what it was. Like, I just expected it to be like an outdoor coaster kind of thing, but it's actually indoor themed inside a cave, and there's like lights. I think there's some dinosaurs and stuff in there. I think there was like music and stuff playing. It was just like pretty cool, like crazy coaster. Circus Coaster is in at number 51 at Energylandia. I put this on the list because it's like a particularly shameful, like kiddie kind of go-gator style coaster. But the guy who opts it, like, he clearly knows enthusiasts and know we come to get the creds, and he will not let you ride it and suffer your shame silently. He like makes you chant along, like singing Energylandia. He'll get you all clapping your hands. Like, it's quite funny. Like, I much prefer a ride-up who's going to acknowledge it and like take the piss out of you rather than just making you feel awkward and weird. Like, it was quite fun. Okay, we're at the halfway point. You still with me? Are we there? I can't even speak. I'm delirious from counting down friggin' 50 kiddie creds, so apologies. It's Sea Dragon at Rainbow Park, purely because it's one of those places I went to and it's properly in the arse end of nowhere in Hunstanton in Norfolk. And it's one of those places I thought, oh god, I'm never coming back here, and I just always seem to end up back there. Like, I've been there like 4 or 5 times. Number 49 is Peter Rabbit Coaster at Nagashima Spa Land in Japan. This is on the list because when we went to Nagashima the first time, it was basically like a typhoon and we never should have gone, and Peter Rabbit Coaster was one of the only operating coasters in the park, which we rode in torrential rain before getting a bite to eat and leaving and coming back at the end of our trip to get the rest of the creds. Next up is Donderstenen, I think I pronounced that right, at Avonturen Park Hellendoorn in the Netherlands. It's themed to rocks, and I don't think there's any other coasters in the world that are themed to rocks. Like, in this way, like the whole train is like a pile of rocks, and it's actually like pretty cool and very weird, and you know me, I like my coasters weird, so it's on the list. Number 47 takes us to Italy for Autobruco Tour at Gardaland, and this is basically like somebody started building a Big Apple style coaster in Roller Coaster Tycoon and just got a bit trigger happy with adding track, and it kind of just goes on way longer than any other Big Apple Wacky Worm style coaster you've ever been on, and it's kind of cute, but it's just funny because it's like someone went, I want a Big Apple coaster but like large one. Number 46 is Rainbow Children Coaster at Sun Park in Beijing. I had to walk over wet concrete to ride this coaster. I thought it was closed, and then the op was like, no, it's open, and there was wet concrete leading up to the station, so I was like, well, how the hell do I get over? And he got loads of cardboard boxes and started ripping them up and laying them over the wet concrete so that I had a path to walk over so that I could get the cred. He was very much a cred enabler, and I appreciate him very much. I don't really remember the roller coaster that much, but I remember getting onto it. 45 is Caravanin at Tivoli Gardens, purely because it's a very small coaster, but it's kind of testament to what Tivoli Gardens do so well. Like, everything there is beautiful and gorgeous. Even the silly little kiddie coasters. Caravanin has this gorgeous, like, mystical fantasy Arabic theme. It reminds me of Fata Morgana at Efteling quite a lot. The style of theming is very pretty. Back to the UK for number 44 is Blue Flyer or Zipper Dipper at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. It's a kiddie wooden coaster. Gets extra points because you get to smell garlic bread and pizza while you're on it because it goes through the pizza restaurant. Number 43 is Runaway Train at Billing Aquadrome, on the list because it is probably one of the most hideous and tragic looking coasters in the UK. It's one of those places you go to and you're riding the coaster and think, why the hell am I spending my time doing this? But yeah, there's fun in how tragic it is. Number 42 is another humble brag from me, is Blue 2 in the back garden of Mr. John Ivers, the creator of the Blue Flash. Well, the cred on a shed, as it is referred to, but yeah, it's on there purely because I just wanted to remind you all that I've ridden it. Number 41 is Rattlesnake at Pleasurewood Hills. I think it's now called Express, but I haven't been back since they rethemed it. It's on there because it was, I think on the park map it was called Rattlesnake, but the sign said snake in the grass, and when I went with Coaster Force there was all jokes about snake in the arse, and it's always stuck with me. Whenever I see the word rattlesnake, I have this vision of Ian from Coaster Wars going, haha, snake in the arse. Number 40 is Back at the Barnyard Hayride. That's Nickelodeon Universe, and it is one of the first coasters we went on the US road trip last year, and it was really shameful. It went round so many times, and it was literally just me, Jack and Chris, and loads of parents, and like their kids were on the ride and the parents were off the ride, and they were all just looking at us like, why are you on this ride? And it was great. Number 39 is Diggy and Daggy's Tram Coaster. That's at Tobu Zoo in Japan. I think Diggy and Daggy are like hedgehogs or something. So the it's a coaster that's on here because the trains are really cute and I enjoyed it a lot. They're like little hedgehoggy dudes on the front, and they are very cute. I don't know if they're like a known character in Japan that I just didn't recognise, or like a park only thing, but yeah, very cute. Family Axabahn at Billybird Park in the Netherlands is number 38. It's an ABC Rides coaster. It's on here because it's a weird one. Again, it's you have to climb up a massive thing, and the coaster starts from the top, and then you go down to the bottom, and then you get off at the bottom, and the train goes back up by itself. It's just a unique coaster, and I like to try different things, and this was something I was pleased to get on. And another weird one for number 37, it's Green Dragon at Greenwood Forest Park in Wales. This is the people-powered roller coaster. So you walk up the stairs, and the trainload of people stand on a weight platform. The weight pool helps bring the coaster up the hill, and then the kinetic energy that you created there is transferred as you get into the roller coaster, and then it goes down the hill, and then you get off again at the end. But Greenwood Forest Park is all about kind of like sustainability and giving back to nature, so it's a nice way of being able to do a roller coaster that doesn't rely on kind of typical sources for energy. It's really cool. Number 36, another new for me for the 2020 roller coasters, Duplo Dino Coaster at Legoland Windsor. Just a lot cuter than I was expecting it to be. Like I'm not ashamed for. I thought it was going to be absolutely horrendous. Like, this is a coaster made for toddlers, but it's really cute. And like the dino guy like makes sound effects and stuff as he goes round. And I love the colour palette. It's like this neon pastel kind of vibe. It's really nice, it's really cute. Number 35 is Der Zug des Manitou at Wiener Prater in Vienna. This coaster, I don't remember tons about it, but I remember it being like inside and it had theming, and that's why I put it on the list. Number 34 is Queen Bee at Bottens up in Skegness. What an iconic coaster, the world's only inverted Big Apple coaster. I mean, why go to Fantasy Island and go on the Vekoma invert where you can go on Queen Bee and it's amazing. Number 33 is Roller Skater at Plopsaland, Japan. They've sadly got rid of this that I'm about to talk about, but it used to go through a giant washing machine and like blow bubbles at you and stuff, and it was really cool. And I was like, what a weird thing to theme a roller coaster to, like doing the laundry. I think there was like a giant, I think it was meant to be like a giant kitchen and you were running around it. Maybe you were meant to be like a mouse or something, I don't know. But all I remember is you went through a giant washing machine and it blew bubbles and it was very fun. Number 32 is Hurricane at Bellewaerde in Belgium. I've never known how to say that park properly, so let me know if I've said that right. It's just very cool. It's got onboard audio. It kind of has like a little bit of a dark ride themed section. It kind of goes into like a cred in the shed mode at the end. It's probably not that shameful kiddie cred style of a coaster, but RCDB can still call it a family coaster, so I'm sticking with RCDB here. But yeah, it's very fun, and the trains are really cool as well. Number 31, Spook Express at Joyland and Great Yarmouth, obviously it's spooky themed, so yeah, it's on the list. Number 30 is Clown Coaster at Chesing's World of Adventures, another coaster that I remember going on very young and being terrified because it went through like a giant drum. And I remember like my child brain was like, goes through a drum, oh my god. Like just being like mind blown by the fact that it went through a piece of theming. Back to Wiener Prater for number 29, and it's Race. Definitely not a rip-off of Cars, Disney Pixar's Cars. It's on there because the trains are pretty cool for a kiddie coaster, and also the shameless copyright infringement. We have to applaud the shameless copyright infringement because it's kind of incredible. I am so sorry for this next pronunciation. It's Hera, maybe a roll of the tongue, Hera Lohikärni. That's in, I believe it's in Finland at Fun Park. You had to take your shoes off, so it's like an indoor family fun centre, and the roller coaster was on carpet, which blew my mind a little bit, and you weren't allowed shoes on the carpet, and therefore to go on the roller coaster you couldn't wear shoes. And I think it's one of the only times I've been on a roller coaster and not being able to wear my shoes. So it's unique, and that's why it's on the list. Number 27 is SOS Numéro B. Maybe that's how you say it. Please correct me. I love to learn how to say these things properly. But it's the kiddie cred. I think it's a Sierra. It's kind of tucked away in the corner on the right as you go towards Osiris. And it's absolutely wild. It's like this kind of little unassuming cred in the corner, and you go on it and it's insane, like really crazy laterals, and you're kind of flying around all over the place. Like, it's genuinely good fun. Number 26, did you expect there to be any B&M coasters on this list of my 100 favourite kiddie coasters? I bet you didn't. This is Family Inverted Coaster at Shanghai. It's an inverted family coaster made by B&M. It's pretty good. I don't know why they didn't get Vekoma to make it, because it's pretty much exactly the same, but here we go. Happy Valley are a strange company. And then number 25 is another B&M. It's Family Inverted Coaster, this time at Beijing. It's higher up on the list because it's pink and I prefer the colour scheme. Number 24 is Rule Rat at Aventuren Park Hellendoorn in the Netherlands. It's just, every time I've been to this park, it's been Halloween. So whenever I've been on this ride, there's been like scare actors and stuff in the tunnel. And for a kind of kiddie family coaster, it's actually pretty good, and it makes really good use of like the darkness and the tunnels and stuff. It's pretty fun. 23 takes us back to Devon for the amazing Rampage at Big Sheep. For those in the know, this used to be at Metroland, New Metroland. So it was like purpose custom built for the shape of the shopping centre, and Big Sheep were like, oh, we've got field, we can put it in. So like, it's a really odd shape just in a field. I think it was called the Big One when it first opened, and everyone was a bit like, but yeah, genuinely like quite a fun coaster. And Big Sheep, if you're ever down in that area, it's such a good park, such a fun day out, so definitely recommend going there if you are in the area. Number 22 is Barnstormer at Adventure Island in Southend in Essex. Genuinely great like kids coaster. Like it's actually really fun. Like it's got some really good forces, really good helixes. It's got that great kind of rumbly bum Sierra goodness. I think it's Sierra. I hope it is. I've also got my facts completely wrong. Yeah, like genuinely good family coaster. Nice colour scheme, nice theming. It's great. Number 21, iconic flying fish at Thorpe Park. I mean, what more is there to say? It's the flying fish. It's awesome. Number 20 is Adventure Drive at Suzuka Circuit. This is a very strange coaster. It's more like a dark ride with some coastery elements, but it says that its launches are powered by screams. It's not really like a launch. It's like a little but it's a really fun, unique, strange family kiddie roller coaster. It's definitely meant more for children. Like everyone else riding was like a parent and a child having a great time, and then there was just us as a group of adults. But yeah, really, really fun and different. Number 19 is one of my favourite Goslauer coasters in the UK. It's Troublesome Trucks at Drayton Manor. What a great coaster. I mean, like genuinely, there's no gimmicks or anything. It's just a really fun, smooth, forceful, fun family ride. Number 18 is the Scorpion Express at Chesington because it has fire. Yes, obviously any roller coaster, any kiddie coaster especially, that has flame and water effects, obviously it's got to go on the list. It's fantastic. Number 17 is Klein Czar at Hansa Park, and I loved this coaster, not for how it rides but how it looks. They've taken a steel coaster and they've themed it to make it look like a classic Russian wooden coaster. And it's just gorgeous, especially at night. It's got like kind of loads of twinkling lights and stuff on it. It's beautiful, probably one of the best looking coasters on this list. Alpenekspressen at Europa Park in at number 16. I mean, it goes through a friggin' diamond mine and it interacts with a log flume, and it's got a dragon and it smells really good. Like it's one of my favourite runaway train type roller coasters. It's really fun. Number 15 is Spinning Surf Boat at Shrine Lord Manor. That whole place felt like something out of Studio Ghibli anyway. It's very strange. The Spinning Surf Boat is you sit on spinning cars and the thing kind of picks up momentum before going around the track, and it inexplicably is showing Mr. Bean episodes in the queue line. It's mental. Tomahawk at Portaventura is in at number 12. Really good, fun wooden coaster. You sit single file unless you have a tiny child or you are two tiny children and you're riding together, but really good interaction with Stampeder, and just all round actually genuinely fun coaster. Next up is Dragon at Legoland Windsor. Obviously, I mean, iconic British roller coaster, and obviously we've seen that rolled out to a lot of the other Legolands all around the world, but it's iconic. I think it's probably like one of the first like proper roller coasters a lot of kids in the UK get to go on. I mean, it's what a great ride. Another Merlin Mine Train coaster next. It's Runaway Mine Train back at Alton Towers. The thing I love, there's two parts I love about Runaway Mine Train. Firstly, it's the bridge where you kind of over the bridge. Yeah, I love that. I love the way it kind of crosses over and interacts, and you can kind of, the bells ring in. It's great. There's just so much going on. And then secondly, the dive down into the tunnel where you interact with the rapids. I mean, iconic British theme park moments. Number 11, and please don't boo me, but this is on my coaster count. The High in the Sky Zeus Trolley Train Ride at Universal's Islands of Adventure. Look, don't kill me. It's a Mack powered roller coaster. It just is, like, there's no arguing with it. I like it. I like the colour scheme. I like the aerial views of the park. I like the little theming dark ride elements. I like the way you go in and out of the different buildings in Zeus Landings. It's a great fun time. And then we are finally, we're into the serious stuff now. This is my top 10 kiddie coasters in the world. So like brace yourselves, because it's getting serious. We're ready to go. Number 10 is Le Petit Train du Cirque at Disneyland Paris, the powered roller coaster at the back of Fantasyland. It's gorgeous. The trains are stunning, or train should I say, is stunning. It's obviously themed to the circus train Casey Jr. from Dumbo. It's just so ornate and beautiful, and then it plays the Casey Jr.'s gonna dun the track, and I'm like, yes. And then you get the obviously amazing aerial view of the storyboat ride, which is another personal Disneyland Paris favourite of mine. Gorgeous ride. It's a must ride for me. Whenever I go to Disneyland Paris, I'm like, come on, we're going to Casey Jr. Like, has to be done. It's gorgeous, stunning ride. This is another coaster that has sadly, tragically been rethemed, but when I rode it, it was known as the Great Fluffy Sky Adventure at Fuji-Q Highland, and it was themed to the Hamtaro characters, and it was literally like, I'm sure you can tell by some of the things on this list, like I like rides that have cute like coaster trains and stuff, and these were the cutest. It's an inverted family coaster. I don't really remember much about the actual ride, I think it just kind of like pootled about, but the trains were like a fluffy cloud with the super cute like Hamtaro guys on the back, and I was literally like, this is the best thing ever. Number 8 is Dverdbanen at Tusenfryd in Norway, aka I think it's called Teeny Weeny, aka the smallest coaster in the world. I don't know if it still holds that title because obviously Gerstlauer have brought out those ridiculous mini coasters that adults can't actually go on. But I think this might be like the smallest roller coaster that adults can actually ride. But yeah, it's like stupid small, and that's why it's on the list, because I've been on it and it's dumb. Number 7 is another iconic UK wacky worm coaster. Right, I'm gonna try and get this right first go without looking. Wallace's Wonderful Wriggling Whirl Wacky Worm. Yes, got it right. This is in New Brighton, near Liverpool, and it's it has the stupidest coaster name I think in the UK, and I love it for that because it's dumb. Number 6 is another defunct coaster. It's called CANON, and it was at Tivoli Karolineland in Denmark. The whole park is now closed actually, but this was a Big Apple coaster that for some reason had a turntable coaster station. For literally like, why does it have that? It's the most extra thing in the world, and I love it. Number 5 is a rare cred if you are an adult, Jellykins at Fantasy Island up in Skegness. This is another one, they don't often let adults ride because the trains are all enclosed, but I think we went on like a quiet day or something and we went up and we're like, please can I ride the silly kids coaster, and they were like, go on then, get on it. And I had to like sit sideways and like back into it and like sit, I was like in the thing like, yeah, I'm in, let's go. And I remember going around the whole thing like, +1. But yeah, that's kind of another brag to say I've been on that roller coaster and it was great, and I never have to do it again. Number 4 is a genuine loved coaster of mine. It's recently been rethemed, so I think it's called like Ziggy's Space Blast or something, but when I went on it, it was known as Clone Zone at the Milky Way Adventure Park in Devon, and it's an inverted coaster built by Carry Pro, who made like the, if you ever went on the Batflyer coasters at Plopsaland, it's like kind of those inverted swinging like broomsticky kind of, you kind of sit in there almost like a motorbike position, and you fly around, but then they decided to like make basically like a full-on dark ride out of it, and considering they're a low budget family owned attraction, it's just really crazy and impressive that this thing exists. I really need to get back down there and see what the re-theme looks like, because it's so good that it's got another lease of life. Right, here we go, top 3. In at number 3 is Boomerang, otherwise known as the Twos Express at Toverland. I don't know why I love this coaster so much, but I think it's because there's a bell on it. It's like a runaway train, like Vekoma family coaster, but the train has a bell and it like really rings as you're going round, and it's inside the first like warehouse building at Toverland, and it's just, it used to be when you, like old school Toverland, when the entrance was in that building, it was one of the first things you saw when you came in. There's this roller coaster going round inside this building and this bell ringing. It was just, I think I just associate it with happy memories, because every time I go to Toverland I have such a good time, and that coaster is really fun. Number 2, we're back to Fuji-Q Highland, and this time, did you know that Fuji-Q have a Thomas Land? Did you know that? And in their Thomas Land they have a kids coaster called Rock and Roll Duncan, which is like basically a little train roller coaster, but for some reason the ride-ups give you tambourines, and everyone gets a tambourine, and you go around the roller coaster and everyone's playing the tambourines, and it's literally like the most fun you will ever have on a roller coaster, and it's just, it's amazing. And finally, my number 1 kiddie coaster, purely because it's shameful and embarrassing and stupid and like ridiculous, and like people like, whenever you bring up like, oh, Cred County, people always go, oh, can't be bothered, like why would you go there and like ride crap rides, it's stupid. But it's like, it's funny, like it's funny to do it, and it's like the challenge of doing it like a scavenger hunt, but doing it with your friends and having such a laugh doing it because it's so dumb and embarrassing is like some of the best times I've ever had as a coaster enthusiast, and none are quite as bleak and shameful and just generally I mean, it's awful, but in the best way. It's the Caterpillar coaster at Hemsby Fun Park. That is back Norfolk kind of area. It's a really small apple coaster, like barely a roller coaster, like it barely counts as a roller coaster. The people who operate it like are judging you and giving you the most horrendous dirty looks the entire time you're on it. The park is pretty like, it's not great, it's pretty bleak, and when I went on it, there was loads of judging parents as well watching it. It's probably the most embarrassed I've ever been on a roller coaster, but it's stuck out in my memory. Like, I'll never forget going on that roller coaster and getting that credit, whereas a lot of these, as I mentioned, kind of blur into one. But yes, my number one is the Caterpillar the Caterpillar coaster at Hemsby Fun Park. So that was my list of my top 100 kiddie family roller coasters. If you managed to stick all the way through from number 100 down to number 1, congratulations, we made it, it's done. We never have to do that again. I mean, you can watch it again if you want, but I mean, yeah, it's just a silly video to say, I guess, woohoo, 100 videos on the channel, so that's pretty cool. Here's to the next 100. Thank you so much to everyone who's kind of come along the journey. It's been pretty fun so far, getting out there and filming all the parks. And yeah, thank you to everyone who's supported the channel so far. It's obviously like I do make these videos because I wanted to start having a log of places I've been, because my memory is really bad, and it's nice for me to be able to look back at videos and go, oh yeah, we did that, we did that, we did that. But obviously I know that a lot of people get some happiness and good times out of the videos as well, so obviously that's really cool too. Comment below with your favourite kiddie coaster. What's the most embarrassing coaster you've ever been on? Thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Yeah, let me know any other comments you might have on my list. Am I wrong? Am I right? What do you think? Is there a coaster I listed that you think should be further up the list? Let me know. It's a very, very serious topic, but I don't think I can resist the smell of chocolate wafting under my nose any further, so I'm going to leave you there. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you later. Bye.